Hi, everyone. Ready for today's adventure? That's great. Last week we learned that the church is like a body. Well, today we will continue talking about that body and its functions. And I want to tell you something. Did you know what the vital organs are in a person's life? The brain, the heart, the liver, and at least one kidney and one lung. A person cannot live without these organs. There are machines that can completely replace the heart, the lungs, kidney, and several organs of the body. But so far, the brain is the only organ that cannot be transplanted. In the same way, there are no brain transplants in the church. When Jesus, who is the head of the church, is replaced, people follow after human laws and not the law of God. That's when the church stops being a true church. And if the head is Jesus, then we are all to be like him. And we will serve joyfully at home, in church, in school, and wherever we go. For the benefit of others. Well, now we'll listen to Tychicus and Onesimus talk about the advice that the Apostle Paul gave them through the letters addressed to the churches in which they belonged.
You know, Tychicus, the Apostle Paul reminded me of the creation of Adam and Eve, because in the letter he wrote to the church in Ephesus, he says that we are members of his body, of his flesh and bones.
You were right, I hadn't thought of that. Because Eve was Adam's flesh and bones. Besides, the apostle says that Adam was the head of Eve, and Jesus, who is the second Adam, is the head and husband of the church. We have been created from him, by him, and for him.
Yes, it strikes me that just as the body and the head are closely connected, we as the church should be just as close to Jesus.
He is the head because he gave his life for the church. He didn't mind leaving the heavenly mansions. He came to this world and took our sinful nature. He was hungry, thirsty, and tired, just like you and me. He was tempted in all things, but never gave in to temptation. That's why when he asks us to do something, it's because he himself has already done it and left us an example to follow.
Speaking of the body, have you noticed that all the organs function as if they were one? For example, when you hit a nail or get burned, the whole body reacts by protecting the injured part. The arm, the shoulders, the legs, and even the feet react. But they also react when one is happy.
You're right. The organs never destroy themselves. They always work to help the body. And they aren't selfish either. They work so that the body can grow, learn, and be healthy and happy.
That's right, Tychicus. That's why God gave us apostles, evangelists, pastors, and teachers, so that the church will grow and learn and not become selfish. The church members should be united, so it will preach with greater strength and share the message of salvation with others.
You are right, brother. God has a purpose for the church. It must reach perfection.
Yes, my brother. We are representatives of Christ. Jesus said that unity in the church is the only way to show that Jesus was sent to save the world. The whole world looks at our behavior. With that, we show if we have been with Jesus and if we have learned from him.
Of course, the Apostle Paul himself said that we are like letters read before the world. So we should be willing to serve and help whoever needs it. For Jesus himself gave us a living example of service and said that whatever we do for others is like doing it to himself. And Jesus also said that he did not come to be served, but to serve.
Did you know that every cell in the body does its work in the organ in which it belongs just as God designed it? They always work in unity. Cells that don't work together with the others begin to divide uncontrollably and form tumors that will invade the organs. These selfish cells are called cancer cells. If they aren't destroyed quickly, they will kill the body. The same thing can happen in the church. When someone acts independently of the head and refuses to work in harmony with others, or creates damage through criticism or gossip, or maybe even becomes puffed up with pride, then it's like a cancer that has invaded the church. To prevent cancer cells from multiplying in our body, we must rest and eat well, exercise, and breathe fresh air. In the church, we must also rest in Jesus, feed on his word, pray without ceasing, and always be active in sharing Jesus with others. That's why it's very important that the love of God be the center of our lives, so that we can help each other grow in perfection in Jesus Christ. Okay, now let's do our activity. Get together in groups with your friends and write down different ideas for the acts of kindness that can be done for others. Put the pieces of paper into a bag. In another bag, put the names of all the people in your church. During the intermission or during an afternoon activity, hand out the slips of paper so that each person in the church receives 2 papers, one with an activity to do, and the other with the name of the person for whom it is to be done. Don't forget to participate in this activity as well. You will see how much fun it is to see the church actively working together for good. That's all for today. Goodbye, my friends.